Hey, Don here. Okay, I'm back for my second live stream about my new stove. It's a ChimneyFree brand, CFI-470-04. Got the legs put on it in my previous video, and here's this little book I'm looking at here. And anyway, I'm going to plug it in and try it out in the garage. And I've got another camera already out there in the garage, so my cameras are all wireless over the Wi-Fi, so I can walk out there. I just have to set it on that camera, and then you have to wait till I get out there. So let me make sure my audio is all working and everything before I decide everything's. Yeah, make sure that's all working. Okay, so let's get on the camera outside, and it should work fairly well. I already tested it, so let's head out there. And we'll plug it up. Okay. Oh yeah, the dryer is on out there. And I would turn it off, but I'm afraid I'll forget to turn it back on. It's not that bad in the audio when I'm my test a while ago. Okay, so we're here, and this is the old milk house heater, they call them. Let's turn that off. It's the old style with the swirly heating elements. And it was like about a $30 to $40 heater. First thing it did was the paint cracked. It came off. It won't put out. It does. It's a 1500 watt. Let's see, 13 to 1500 watt, but it doesn't do enough heat out here. I mean, it'll keep. It seems when pipes didn't freeze. We've had to use it because it's the only one we had, and we were down to below freezing several nights in the last couple of weeks. And they didn't freeze, but it definitely doesn't make it feel any better out here at all. And my mom likes to, feel a little warmer when she's washing clothes and stuff. So, get this and move it. I'll just set it. I won't go put it where I'm gonna put it yet. I'll just be wasting time. Okay, let's put this. I don't want it too close to the. Let's see. You gotta make sure it'll reach. I'm not going to show it, but I've got a heavy-duty extension cord to plug it into that goes over to my electrical outlet. But if you run one of these heaters on 1500 watts, then it will overheat. That milk house, you couldn't run it on 1500 watts. It would overheat it. Some of the heaters we've had, you could run them on full blast just fine. So I'm kind of just going to turn it. Well, I'm going to put it that way. It can kind of go out of the way, and you can still get the vacuum out. I think it will put out enough heat that we won't have to move it over towards it, because it's going to be in the way of the door. I'll get that rock and put it. We have a brick there that we use to keep the door open when it's warm weather and we want the door open. So let's get it in the camera view right now. Let's see. It may need to set closer. I don't know. I may leave it like that until I see how well it works. But I'm going to turn it on. Let's see. Oh, I can move my camera a little bit. Well, the camera can't move much because it is plugged in. There. I don't know why I care, but I want it centered in the shot. Okay. If you look at the previous video, if you want to see, all you have to do is put the handle on it and the legs. It didn't take too long. It's got a little thermostat, 1500 watt switch. Okay, so what looks to me like will be on is actually off. The 0 is off and the minus sign is on. If I was installing those switches, the minus sign would mean off and the 0 would be on, and I think that's kind of used to be the standard, kind of the way people would do things, but you don't know what you'll get anymore. Okay, it has let's see if that works. Well, it doesn't work with it off. Okay, that's the lighting effect. Okay, got to turn it on. Let's turn these Oh, okay, this is off. Okay, this got me confused. That's off. Okay, so that's on. Oh, now see, there's your lighting effect. It's fake. It's a fake fireplace. Light. That's kind of cute. Couldn't care less about that. I got it because it has a combination infrared and oh, I forgot the other the other elements. Not the little thin wire kind, but the round rod kind. You can't see them, but that's what it's supposed to have. The heating element's really all down in here in the bottom. So anyway, that's not heating right now. And you can, what can you do with that? Oh, you can make it go faster. A little wider, a little faster. Can't turn it all the way off though, evidently. If it's on, that's on. So I'm going to start with 1300 watt. Well, let's just start with 1300 watt. Turn it on. Okay, it's blowing air right away. You can go all the way around to there. I won't go all the way up. I'll go. It's supposed to be able to handle 1,000 square feet. Now, you know, they generally fudge quite a bit on what anything can do anymore, what they tell you. But this garage, you know, it's a standard 2-car garage. It's probably, with this extra area back here where the washer and dryer is, it's probably 400 or 500 square feet. Oh, it's getting warm. I'm gonna go ahead and turn it on to the 1500 watt, because you know, the faster it heats up the room, the less time it has to sit there running. And I will monitor that. I think I'll just turn it up all the way and see how long it runs. Monitor the cord. Of course, it's not warm now. It'll have to run for, you know, 20 minutes to an hour before I'll find out if the cord's going to get too hot. And oh, I can see the elements lighting up real good now. Yeah. So down there in the bottom, I'll go ahead and shut the little door just to see what it looks like. Down there in the very bottom, I don't know how well it's showing up. Let me turn off this light here. Now you can see what it's going to look like. You see the bottom where it's glowing? That's the actual heat. And the rolling fire look, it's cute as it can be. It at a distance, it almost makes you think it's a fire. If you like that, you know, only thing is that would it'd probably bother me too. My mom doesn't want anything in her room that's a light. She kind of wanted to get a new. She has an oil heater in her room, and it works great. It hasn't ever leaked, but every one of the other brands that are out right now, she's had it for several years now, and this brand that she has, actually, I wouldn't buy one now because every place you look, they blow all the oil out and ruin your whole house. And some of them, different brands, they'll burn up the wiring inside of themselves and all kinds of terrible, you know, burn your house down kind of scary things. So this one didn't have any of those bad reviews. I do wish you could turn the effect off. You really don't need that effect in the garage. But one thing, you'll have a little night light. If you come out here at night, you'll still be able to see something. It'll probably startle us for the first few months we have it out here. But all you can do is either make it brighter, or let's see what it looks like with the light out again. You can make it brighter or dimmer. Oh, now it really actually does look like it has flames in there. I guess if you wanted to kind of all the way down is like that. There's about, do it like that. That makes you think there's a fire in there. It really does have a nice looking effect. I'm gonna leave it right there. That'll give you a little light when you come out here. Wish you could turn that part off altogether. You know, but you know, give your room a little ambience. Again, sorry about the dryer in the background, but I don't really want to turn it off. Okay, so it's a good fan, but not super powerful. It's not going to be a freezing night, so I think I will put it once I get done making my video, I'll put it back over there kind of more out of the way. And, well, the cord's beginning to warm up, but it's not hot yet. Hasn't gone off yet, but I'm leaving it where it's sitting at really right now. I mean, the other one we had to put it over here like, you know, less than a foot from the washer for it to do the job. This one should be able to, you know, I can re-aim my camera. Let's put it where it's going to be. I just realized. Re-aim your camera. Okay, so this is where I'm going to put it right now anyway. And put that rock there. I'm sure if you can still open the door. I mean, it's not going to open as far back as it normally does, but you can still open the door. And I never really have liked that gas grill being there. If those canisters never have leaked, if they ever did, with even electric heater. Of course, the dryer's in here too, so we've never had a problem with a leak. Their canister, yeah, there's one on it and 2 extras over there to the right of it. So I don't really like that, but they don't belong to me either. So I guess as long as you don't get forgetful and leave the gas on, it'll be all right. All right, so that's pretty cool. Do that again. You know, I actually would enjoy just sitting here looking at that for a little while. I'll just leave it like that for now. It looks kind of like a fire. I mean, it looks a lot like a real fire. And I've always liked watching fires. The only reason I never really got into fireplaces and wood stoves, number one, is the smoke, you know, bothers me, and I have a lot of allergies. But number two, I used to be I love woodworking. I used to be a cabinet maker. And when I see wood, I see all the things I can make out of it. The last thing in the world I want to do with any kind of piece of wood, I don't care if it's 1 inch by 3 inches or if it's a tree, I don't want to burn it. I want to make something out of it. And once you burn it, it's gone forever. And I don't care what kind of wood it is. There ain't no scrap. There ain't no trash wood to me. If it's completely rotten, well, right now it's just barely warm. The cord that it's plugged into, it's about as heavy duty of an extension cord as you can get. It's probably about 6-8 feet long. Reaches over to my 4-way box where I have my freezer plugged in there too. It's just one circuit. The only 2 things on that circuit is this heater and my freezer, little mini freezer. Works fine, but that milk house heater draws lots of current and puts out not much heat at all. It's not made well. I guess those elements just don't work as good as these kind. Now what I'm wondering is, you know, the big thing about those infrareds is they're supposed to warm people up by shining that infrared light on you. But this one, I mean, how is it really going to shine that light on you? From just a little bitty small opening at the bottom, that flame light, that's not infrared light, that's just effects. It's just a light bulb. It's like an appliance light bulb. I looked in the manual. So, but as long as it doesn't even have to heat the whole garage. As long as it keeps this area warm enough to not, let the washer freeze, the pump and the inlet line, water inlet lines, we'll be happy. And if you don't if you have to move the heater over here close to the washer, then anytime you want to open the back door, you got to move it out of the way, and that's a pain in the butt. So if it can be left over there, where the door can still be open, then that'll be cool. Somebody's in the kitchen dropping stuff. I just heard them. Amazing I can hear anything with this dryer running, but I think that it's going to be all right. I think I can leave it like that. I'm just going to leave it on full blast and see what it does. And then on a cool night, it probably won't need it on full blast. It may never turn off, might want to turn the thermostat back some, but this is, I think it's probably 50 outside, or 45 to 50 It might even be 55 out there right now. I don't know. It's not that. It's chilly out here in the garage, but it's already warming up with this thing. This is definitely, I can tell right now it's going to do way better than that milk house heater. So I don't remember what brand that thing is. They're all pretty close to the same. They're all the same design. There might be some that work better. I imagine the old ones that originally gained the name milk house heater were a lot better heaters than what they're making now, just like everything else. But when you're trying to heat something like a drafty garage, you do need a heater with a fan, that's for sure. But a good fan, it's got to really move some air. And this one, that's about as much air moving. And we have another one that it's probably, we got it back in the 60s. Little square box with, I'm not quite sure what kind of heating elements it has in it. It looks like a radiator when you look through it. And a pretty strong fan. And that thing did better than any of the other, well, did better than any of those small milk house size heaters. The other ones we had that were about as tall as this one that were, I can't think of the name of the elements, the round rod elements. They put out more heat than it did. But we used them for years and years. And we haven't thrown them away yet, but they overheat now. And I think they're dangerous. We're scared to use them. They'll overheat and blow their little internal breaker. And so for a year or two, we could like turn them off a high, turn them down on a lower setting, and they'd work, but they wouldn't pay as much heat. And now they just do it, period. So I'll save them thinking one day I'd learn how to fix them, or for parts, they got good switches and all kinds of things like that. I think the elements in them are just so, burned up. Not completely, but burned up enough that they're putting out too much resistance. There's too much resistance in them now. And so they overheat the unit, and if it didn't blow that breaker, it'd be overheating our extension cord, and being dangerous. I'd like to not have it on an extension cord, but the way everything is in here, it's pretty hard to do. My circuit that I have it on is actually, it's on its own circuit, but it's Romex wire. It's actually underground wire that you could bury underground. And it's, well, heck, I don't know how long it is, 50 foot long or something. And I can move it wherever I want, but this garage is so hot. In the summer, it's so hot right here. This is the hottest part of the garage, and so I put the freezer in the middle of the garage under a ceiling fan. And so I don't really want to move it up here. Plus, there's a lot of work to move it. There's stuff in the way, lots and lots of stuff to move. So if this will work okay without being any concern, right now it's not any warmer than than it is with that milk house heater on low, and it's on high. And it's been running a good while now. So, yeah, there's no warmth up in the top. It looks like fire, so I'm scared to touch it. But it's just a light bulb down in there somewhere. I kind of see, if I get up here and look around, I can kind of see something. Obviously, it's got one of those kind of like those Christmas tree light effects, things that light bulb inside of a little spinning box, not a box, but a spinning tube, and different colored tube with holes in it, probably. I like that. It really is too fancy looking to be in the garage, but oh yeah, it's putting out some real heat now. So I'm going to leave it like that and see. I don't know if I want to turn the thermostat down some or what. I want to see what it'll do. So I'm going to leave it on while I'm still up and awake. I'll turn it down when I go to bed. But there we go. Cool. I don't know how much went blank. I don't know how much I don't know what I was going to say. Let me turn off move this milk house down here toward my area of the garage where I sit sometimes. Losing my mind. Okay. I was gonna just set it down here and take off, but I don't think that's gonna be a good idea. Put it back in there, out of the way. I know you can't see me, but you can hear me. Should be able to, unless it's breaking out. I'm down on the other end of the garage, and my old router, I couldn't go down there without the sound and the video breaking up. So we'll find out. Okay, turn all those lights out. And I'm gonna turn this one out too. And go stop my video, and then I'll come back and get my camera. Okay, we're back in the room. Yeah, we'll go ahead and end this video. I was thinking about showing it to my mom with it running, but I'll wait till I get the videos turned off first. Okay, so there we go. You don't see it very good with the light out, but it's okay now. All right, I was going to check my stream, but I will. If it don't work, I'll just have to upload the backup. So it's done, and that's my new heater. Hopefully it'll work good. ChimneyFree, CFI-470-04. That's the model number. All right, bye-bye.